As I was saying earlier before my memory card ran out of memory, the three strips, they don't tell you where to put them, so there's one that's different than the other two, so I mounted that on the top. But it doesn't seem to line up. It's got grooves in it, and there's a groove here, but the straps that will be put in, you would think that the straps, you can see they have to be screwed in right in here. Those two little holes there, and there's two little, I don't know if you can see it, yeah, two holes there and two holes there. There's two places, there's basically two spots, one here, one here, one here, one here. And this doesn't line up. There's a tab in this that doesn't line up with bringing the strap through the tab. And there's one here. And it just doesn't line up. So I don't know if that's a mistake in manufacturing. I can show you by the connection of that strap will be there, and it's just offset. So I don't know what all of that is about, but I'm not going to worry about it. If necessary, it doesn't matter where it goes here, because you're not supposed to have the straps located over a button, but over here it will. And if I bring the strap over and put it on this location, this is where the strap is supposed to go. The strap is supposed to be above the LEDs, not above the buttons. But if you move the strap over to the other alternate mounting position, you end up over the buttons. But once again, the tab is indented right there, so that you can do it right over. So I think that must be a flaw. The one that's different must trim piece must mount on the top, and I assume the two trim pieces that are identical mount on the sides. And obviously you want to keep it clear of the hinge right there for the door. Okay, the next step that I'm going to do is I've already placed the bracket where I want it. I've started to screw in. I've started to screw over here on this side. That's where the brackets will go to, and these will later attach to the countertop. So I'll just tighten the screw down and put another one in. Torque them down too much. And like I said, this already pulling down. I'm going to get a utility knife, and I'm going to cut. Although that may not. Maybe I don't have to cut them. Maybe that will be pulling up, because I do have to leave a ½ inch space anyway above the buttons on the front door. So maybe we'll leave that, we won't cut it, but if we need to, we can. So think these are okay. Okay, because this dishwasher comes with a special sound package in the kick plate, behind the kick plate, I had to remove the kick plate, 2 screws right there, which I took off, and now I'm in the process of removing the brace that will be discarded, and that's this piece of metal, and what will go in its place is the sound insulation kit. So let me reach over, and I think I was in the process of see if we can get the camera to focus. Maybe that's a little bit better. And I'm just in the process of loosening that. I'll reach in here, see if I can get it loose with my fingers. Still not yet. So it's very, very tight. Can't give much leverage. I don't have an extension that would make it easier. Let's see. She's still tight. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go off camera. I'm going to take that out, plus the one that's down here. I had to tip the dishwasher on its side because I had the hoses already connected here, so I probably did something out of sequence. But I didn't want to put pressure on flexing the waste water and the water line. Okay, I now have the kick panel removed, the toe kick, and the bracing, and the sound package will go on after I connect the electrical, because there's no other way to do it. So what I want to do now is I want to start to feed the hoses into under the sink, and they'll be going through those 2 access points right down there. So that's what I'll do. I'll start it and then I'll come back and let you have a look. So you can see that I've fed the slack in the lines through the holes to reach the wastewater tube through, and taking up the slack. And if we come around, you'll see that we have them coming through, and that will connect the water line there, and we'll connect this here, the waste line, to the trap with a I've got to put a hose clamp on here, but also I will be installing a little bracket to hold this in what's called a high loop that prevents any wastewater backing up into your dishwasher, which you don't want to happen. Okay, so I will I'll go and do that. I'll connect the clamp, and I may wait on doing that till I get the dishwasher positioned more, because there'll be more slack hose coming through. Okay, here we are. We've positioned the dishwasher in the space where it's going under the counter. I've fished the household electrical wires into the electrical, what's going to serve as the electrical box on the dishwasher right here. And this has a strain relief connector that I tightened down that was already on the house wires, and that just fits in here like that, right around there. These are the wires to the dishwasher that we're going to connect and then stuff in this box. The first thing we have to do, though, is to put this ring on, which will serve to affix the strain relief connector to the electrical box. So that's what I'm going to try to do now, and we just have to put it over these, and if everything works out, we'll just thread it on. So let's see how that works. I think we're getting it. Okay, I brought some needle nose pliers. That might help in making that a little bit tighter, if I can get them in there. I don't think there's much. There's less than, seems like there's only about 4 inches space to reach in here, so I'm going to try to turn it with just a screwdriver. I think that's working pretty good. And I want to make sure that I'm not pinching any other wires. I'm probably supposed to tighten it down on the back side of this. There are 2 screws that the strain relief connector connect to the household wire, but it would be too hard to reach in there now, so I did that beforehand. And this is pretty tight. I'm just going to do a little bit more just to ensure that we have a nice tight fit. I don't think that's going anywhere. I don't think any vibration is going to loosen that. Alright, the next thing that we'll have to do is, I'm lying here on the floor and I don't have them, is the caps, the screw caps, the electrical caps, to tighten these off. And they connect black to black, green to green, and white to white. So in the previous installation in Dishwasher, there was a grounding screw. There is not a grounding screw on this. They connect directly to each other on this, on a GE profile. So what I'll do is I'll get a needle nose plier and I'll straighten out this hook on the ground. Alright, be back in a minute. Well, I went and got the connector nuts, and here they are. The way that you do this is it's easier to show you. Let's do the ground first, which is the green. You line them up, the 2 wires, like that. You don't twist them, and you put them in the cap. And you twist them. Like that. And then just test it to see that they're not coming apart. It's good and tight. Now we'll do the white next. Same way. Just checking white to white. Keep trying to reach my hands under here. It's real tight. Really very little space to work. I can't get any leverage. Well, I'm covering it up, so I'll stop it here and I'll finish tightening this one. Okay. Now we're ready to do the black. Be a little bit easier if I was on the other side, I think. Still twisting. I know you can't see at that angle, but okay, I think that's done there. Pushed it some more, and I don't think that's coming out, so I think we're good. What I have left to do is to bend these wires to compress them so that they fit inside this box, and then the box mounts on that little indent. This tab that you see right there, I'm touching with my finger, goes in the slot here, and then a screw mounts, ties it down on the other side. So I'll do that and get back to you. Okay, there's the electrical box connected, and all the wires nice and snug. And that's about it. I think we can start moving towards pushing, sliding the dishwasher into the space under the counter and snaking the lines, the water lines, to under the sink. Okay, now we're ready to start sliding the dishwasher under the counter, trying to keep the insulation in place and also being aware not to kink. Okay, now I'm screwing in the tabs on the dishwasher to the underside of the counter now that we've leveled the dishwasher both left and right and back to front. And you want to drive these screws in flat so that they don't hit your controls. Okay. When you close the door. Well, rather than strip the head on that one, I'll do it by hand. Okay, now I'm ready to connect the waste pipe, the waste tube to the waste pipe, and we got plenty of slack here. I'm just going to push this on and push that in, and make sure we have a good connection. Okay, what I've done is I've tightened down the wastewater hose clamp right there, and in order to create a what's called a high loop, I've attached a bracket to hold the waste hose, and that should be about approximately 32 inches high. This stops the waste water from the dishwasher backfilling into the dishwasher. Okay, the next item we need to do is attach the water feed, the hot water, with the 3/8 compression fitting, and we'll do that in a moment. I'll just adjust the camera. Okay, the camera is in position, and I've started to thread the 3/8 compression fitting onto the water pipe, and I'm just hand tightening it, making sure that we haven't cross-threaded anything. Brought it down to where it's tight, won't go any more by hand. Now we'll tighten it with a wrench. Just taking my time, doing it really gently. Well, that didn't sound it. I think we're okay. I think that's tight enough. Maybe I'll just give it a little bit more. I don't want to pull on the pipe. I think that's good. That should be good enough. Got a little bit extra pipe here, tubing. I really can't, won't feed back behind the dishwasher, so I guess I'm stuck with it the way it is. Maybe I can move it around a little bit. But I think that's okay. Here we are. Well, okay, we've run a wet cycle through the dishwasher. There's been no leaks there, or with the waste tube, and we have run the install on setting the dishwasher hardness, or the water hardness in the dishwasher. That's with that test strip. All green means that we have soft water, which we should because we have a water softener. And I'll just get down here underneath, and the next step will be to install the sound package and the access panel and the kick plate. Let me get a little bit of light. That's a little bit better. There's the water inlet valve, and no leaks, as you can tell, on the wood on the floor, subfloor. And you can't see it, but the wastewater tube is behind those blue wire and white wire. And I'll try to go lower on this and closer to see if you can see it. But anyway, it's hard to pick up. I can see it, but I don't think you can see it on camera. But the floor is dry. So we'll put the kick plate on, and we'll get back to you. Okay, I installed the sound package under the access panel and kick plate. Basically, I forgot to turn the camera on while I was doing that. But as you can see there, I just screwed in a 1/4 inch hex screw on the panel on that side, and the same thing on this side there. Now the next thing is to put the actual toe kick in, and I'm assuming that it will go into, you'll screw into that hole, and you'll screw into this one, and this one is offset. So we'll see if that works. And we'll see if we can balance the camera. And just to show you the kind of foam insulation that was on the access panel that's behind there, it had a lot of it had double layers of this foam, soundproofing, I guess. And so you just turn this over and bring it under. And set it in. So I'll do some adjusting and dry fitting this, and I'll be back with you in a minute. Well, okay. I didn't bother to film tightening the screws on the kick plate. It's just that you have to screw that into the previously installed sound kit, and likewise you do the same thing on this side. One of the things that I did encounter when I was doing this is that the side plate on the kick plate, there wasn't enough room or clearance to go behind the cabinet kick plate. So what I had to do is I had to take this pump wrench, and I had to squeeze the edge of the frame of the dishwasher, the frame that it sits on, probably a 1/16th, so a 1/16th of an inch, so that I could slip this part behind the counter kick plate. Aside from that, everything was okay, and I think this project is done. We've already run the cycle, the wet cycle, and all that remains is to take wrapping off. So I hope you enjoyed following this video, and I think you'll find that most everything is very, very similar on all the dishwashers, and that anybody at home can handle it. You don't have to pay to have a professional do it. Alright, thanks for watching.